I see that.
Oh, hello, namaste. Hi, my name is Dan. It's nice to meet you. I've heard so many things about you. I've been traveling all over Nepal on a quest for real magic. And everyone who I've met, everyone who I've seen, everyone I've talked to said to meet you. So it's an honor, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I have not magic powers.
No, but people have told me that you have special qualities of meditation, that you can do amazing things with your body through meditation.
I'm very sorry. This meditation is only for myself, not for other people.
Oh, no, I understand. I'd like you to closely guard my secrets. But I still was wondering if you'd just be able to talk to me about it. I've come so far away. Maybe we can share about what you do.
Of course, we can talk to you.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So I brought this with me. I'd like to give it to you as a gift. Okay? Look.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me into your beautiful home. I would really like to know some more about your techniques.
It's not easy to understand. It's like an ocean. It's very deep.
Right. Well, I understand your hesitation to show me anything, but if I showed you something, might you reconsider?
Yes, of course.
My entire journey and everything I've done to this point comes down to this. I need to impress this man with one of my illusions in the hopes that he will show me what I've come so far to see. See the moon?
Yes.
I know the Buddha was born under the full moon. I know how important the full moon is in Buddhist culture. If I take my hand and close my fingers around the moon and cause it to disappear.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very fantastic. Yes.
Thank you.
Please sit down.
Okay. So, the thing that I hear the most about you, and you can tell me if this is true or not, is...
So this guy is an American stage magician. Heard of the levitation of this monk? This monk is a obvious reputation of being able to levitate. He's Nepali, so he goes to Nepal and then finds the monk and then convinces him to levitate for him.
That you have power of levitation. And as a magician, this is something that I'm fascinated with.
Your magic is fantastic, but we're not the same the Buddhist meditations.
Yes, I understand. I know you don't want to teach me how to do it or tell me any of what you do, but maybe I could just witness it.
You come from a very far away. You show me your skill. I don't know what happened, but I will try one time.
Okay, great.
I need you back. If you still close me, then my energy doesn't know. Yes.
Okay. Are you really saying this mantra? It's the real deal.
Now here's the moving out progression. So this is happening maybe at 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm working on research. This is almost 10 years ago. This thing is in the background. I'm watching it because it's kind of interesting. And I know from physics that sort of stuff is nonsense. You're not going to be able to accelerate. And I'm also very skeptical of this physicists who make the claim that it is possible, obviously, because I don't think it is. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that he starts to move up in the upward direction. There's a little bit of an excitement. The cameraman is moving around. Then I'm thinking, oh, he's definitely playing a David Blaine. Okay, so David Blaine is really good at extending his feet, hides one foot behind the other one, and then he pushes up. And that's what I think is happening here, because clearly there's no levitation stick. It's just a lot more sophisticated than what you see on the screen. So he starts to go up. I'm thinking, oh, there's too much of a shadow here, right? So just get underneath, check to see what happens. I'll check in terms of the camera. The cameraman, obviously, he knows what to look for at this point. There's nothing. He's not pushing up against the ground. The next thing you have to look for are the wires. You're not able to see it. That's how the stage magicians usually do. So he's moving around. Notice that there are no shadows. There's nothing. There's no contact. All right, there's nothing. And he's checking to see if there are any wires. from that distance.
There's wires. I'm not.
Nothing.
I don't see anything. This is crazy.
Goes up and comes back down.
Can I approach you?
Yes.
How do you feel?
Fine.
Okay. Thank you so much. And seeing and talking to so many people just to see you do that. So thank you very, very much. It's been enlightening. I wasn't sure I'd ever find you. You know, my whole journey through your country has been absolutely amazing and truly magical. And I want to thank you for showing me what you do.
Thank you for finding me. And I remember this. Keep your mind open and always value to learn.
Thank you. Namaste. Alhamdulillah. That was amazing. Totally worth it. I don't care if it's real, fake, or illusion. I don't even know, but I don't really know how he did it. I can pretty much guarantee that there were no strings, or I didn't see anything underneath, and I didn't see anything above. But he did tell me in the crew to step back. And I think there was a reason for that. I think there was something that he didn't want me to see.
Notice that he claims that this is real.
Meditation.
He says this is not a magic.
Yes, I understand.
Just this meditation
I
practice.
know you don't want to teach me how to do it or tell
He says he mastered it.
me any of what you do, but maybe I could just...
My energy doesn't know.
It's the same as Tintin. Remember the guy who was saying, was basing his stories on his life experiences?
Excuse me.
Tibet, this is once again a Nepali monk. They kind of look the same.
I see.
And then the guy starts going up,
There's wires.
coming back down.
I didn't see anything.
Mind over matter,
I see
just like the way the physicist said it is.
the horn of Yak blistering.
For that, I think there was something...
So, question. Is this real levitation? Yes or no? If this were a test question, how would you answer it? How would you answer it? All right.
No, because he doesn't move off in a straight line at a constant speed.
Okay, Jack, give yourself 20 points. Absolutely, that's correct. Okay, because this is what your mind wants to see, and that's what you're seeing. It's levitation. In reality, if you were to do that, what would happen? Remember, the Earth is spinning on its axis, right? This guy would start to move towards the ceiling real fast. In reality, all right, this guy levitated for a long ass time. All right, you can't be hovering around. Real levitation doesn't look like this. Now, I have no idea how he's done it. I have no idea. I mean, it looked real impressive, but I've seen it done better. Street magicians, stage magicians, and street magicians can do a job. This is that was really impressive.
Have you ever been
Chris Angel is amazing.
hypnotized? Have you ever been hypnotized?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to try this with you. All right, so why don't you step right over here for me? I want you to think about a time in your life where it's just the perfect moment, a moment that you want it to last forever. And I want you to think about that moment. I want you to close your eyes right now for me. Close your eyes, good. I want you to fall back into that place. I want you just to relax and allow yourself to go right back to that place. Fall back into that place. Fall back into that place. Fall back into that place. Just relax yourself. Just relax yourself. Relax your entire body. Relax. Just relax.
Oh my god, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Just relax. Just relax.
That rocks.
Relax. Relax. Okay. Just relax yourself. Relax yourself. Relax yourself.
Oh my god, that's so. I don't know how you do not have most people like that. You totally out. Totally out.
Holy oh girl!
You leave that?
I would never do that.
You all right?
That was so freaking cool. You were totally flat out in there. Nothing under there. And he was had his hands over you like this. And totally smelled out. And it was so amazing. My eyes open or no? You were like you were dead or something. It was so cool. Myself? No, nothing. There was nothing under you. I was looking. There was nothing under you at all.
So going back to that, is this real levitation? Once again, no. So real levitation. Once again, she would have gone in a straight line at constant speed, and she would just literally start going through the atmosphere within about 10 minutes. 1,000 miles per hour in a straight line at constant speed. Atmosphere goes about 50 miles. All right, at least Chris Angel, this guy's a magician. I don't know how they do what they do, but it's real. Really. All right, it's kind of weird. I don't know how often you end up changing your minds. And so I do this presentation on a regular basis. Obviously, this is one of those mind twisters that I really enjoy. And in person, it's much more impressive because I can see your faces, and I could all of a sudden make these weird connections in your heads that I could almost see it. In the sense that you start off being very skeptical, and then eventually you start to give in. It's kind of weird. So I'm making this presentation to faculty members at the art school. All right, so once a year, I used to make these mind twisters because people enjoy these mind twisters. It's a bit of a magic show using physics. And starting out, people were very, very skeptical. All right, so I went through the same presentation, and it was entirely related to the levitation, whether or not it's possible. So by the time I was done with it, 40% of the people end up becoming believers. All right, despite the fact that the conclusion is, if you were to levitate, you would not be hovering around. You will literally projected out into space. That was the conclusion. And the conclusion is the closest thing that you see to levitation is that monk levitating. And I don't know how he's done it, but obviously Chris Angel is just as impressive. Just as impressive. All right. And people right after the presentation came up to me and they told me that I was missing the point. I just proved that the levitation was true. They 100% believed that the monk was levitating. On top of that, they also thought that the levitation in that commercial was a true levitation. It's weird. I mean, it's weird that it's so easy to convince people about things which are not true. Okay, so levitation is not possible. And now, I was playing games with you. I said, hey, this is the number that you need to overcome, right? Guys, my major used to be psychology before physics, so I end up using a lot of psychological tricks. And this is one of them. Right? I exclusively focus on this number. This means gravity is extremely weak. And then less than a penny in your pocket is nothing, but this number is not nothing. That's not, I literally, if this is a group presentation, if we were all in the same room, I would have you chant, gravity is less than a penny in my pocket. A couple of times, and then you go, and then my question is, what is less than a penny in your pocket? Nothing, nothing. And all of a sudden you're thinking this is something you can overcome, right? Because that's the way you think it's gonna work out. Think of it this way, guys. That number is not nothing. All right, so this number that you're looking at, capital G, this is the mass of the Earth, divided by the size of the radius of the Earth. That's going to give you a huge number. All right, so this is going to be roughly about 10. All right, so let's make this 9.8. All right, and that number multiplied by your mass, in my case, is converted to pounds. This is going to be about 150 pounds. All right, this is not nothing. You cannot overcome something like this. Mind over matter. It's complete nonsense. This number is very small, but this number multiplied by the mass of the Earth is going to be 10 to the 20. It's going to be 10 to the 24. All right, 10 to the 24. That's a huge number. Divided by the square of the radius is going to give you roughly about 10. 10 multiplied by your mass converted to pounds is going to give you a weight. You cannot overcome something like this, mind over matter. That's complete nonsense. I don't care if you have a PhD in physics from Harvard or from God knows from where, it makes no difference. You just cannot fool nature. It cannot be done. Simply it cannot be done. Those are nice mind twisters, but at least this mind twister told us something. Number one, for some reasons, strength of gravity is extremely weak. We don't understand why. Why is it that this number is set to turn out to be a number like this, which is really, 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 really weak? And thank God that it is weak so that we're not attracted to buildings or whatever, so we can have normal lives, so which is a good thing. We don't understand the workings of gravity in terms of how is it that it's related to the mass of the planet, and how is it that the mass of the falling object does not matter? So these are still mysteries. And why is it that it's going to be inversely proportional to the size? Okay, so this is going to give you the mass density in essence. So it's directly related to the mass density. Okay, so the inner workings of gravity is not quite well understood. It's still a mystery, but it's not so mysterious that you can actually overcome gravity in mind over matter. All right, it's just it's not possible. All right, having said that, go take a break for 10. Be back within 10. And then we shall continue.